Welcome everybody. Cup Tasters Qualified Competition online learning session for Houston, Texas. My name is Anita Tam. I'm very excited to meet everybody in Houston. This is a online learning session specific to cup tasters. Online learning sessions are brought to you by US Competitions Committee. And before we start, take a moment to take a look at this code of conduct. In any time that you're joining an online learning session or a physical event, you abide by code of conduct listed here. There's a QR code on the right-hand side. And throughout this entire presentation, there will be QR codes readily available for you to get to rules and regulations, get to the website. So if you're not using your phone, bring your phone close by and then use the QR code to access those information anytime. Does anybody have any questions about the code of conduct? Now I will move on to the next slide. This is the QR code to access the uscoffeechampionship.org website. Feel free to use that now if you would like to access the website. There's also rules and regulations and any other information regarding the competitions there. So this is the 2024 season qualifying competition is at the Power Center, Houston, Texas, January 16th to 19th, 2024. And then the Cup Tasters Championship will be in March. And it will be to be confirmed. We are waiting to sign contract on that location, but there will be the national competition in March. The reason behind is the World Cup Tasters Championship is going to be in Chicago. So that would be enough time for our Cup Taster champion to represent US in Chicago. During this time, April 12th, April 14th, in the McCormick Place Convention Center. Here is the QR code for your rules and regulations. Please take a moment to download them, and then you can read through them along during the online learning session. So this is when we're gonna see each other. Cup Tasters qualify in Houston, Texas, January 16th, 19th, 2024. Feel free to Google that address. All the information is on the US competition website. First question, when should I arrive at the competition area? Once the schedule has been released, you will know exactly which day you'll be competing. That will be within this week. I will talk a little bit more about the schedule in the next 30 minutes or so. But once you know when you're going to compete, you have to arrive at the competition area 30 minutes before your competition start time. Once again, the schedule will be released approximately 2 weeks before the competition. So this is how a schedule will look like, sample schedule. So 3 competitors per heat, that's the usual competition. Heat will be 3 competitors per heat, and it will go around 1 heat per hour. So what is a cup tasters competition? The competition is organized as triangulation tests. So it's 3 cups of coffee per set. 2 of each are identical and 1 is unique. And what you need to do is to use your senses to identify the odd cup out of the 3 cups that are presented to you per set. So once again, you're tested on your ability to distinguish the odd cup, but not to identify the coffee, quality, origin, etc. So we are only going to distinguish the odd cup out of the 3 per set. So here's some very important numbers to remember. 1 triangulation is 3 cups. You've got 6 triangulations to do within 6 minutes. which means that you have to taste 18 cups of coffee. On stage, there will be timekeepers as well. They will provide you a signal to start. And at the table, the timekeeper will give you a 3-minute, 2-minute, 1-minute, and 30-second warning during the 6 minutes of competition time. And the timekeeper is required to give these warnings as they occur. They might talk over the MC, there might be loud noises around you, but the timekeeper will give these warnings as they occur. Going back to the competition stage, this is how it usually look like. There will be 6 sets on the table, and the competitor will be next to each other with timekeepers behind them. There will be an MC and stage manager on stage. So what actually will happen is all 3 of you will begin at the same time, and you must identify the odd cup by pushing it over the line into a separate box from the other cups in the triangulation, so it's completely cleared of its previous position. So I would say again, you have to push it over to the line, but not lifting it up. So by rules and regulations, you're not allowed to lift up the cup unless once you lift up the cup, that cup has been counted. And once you touch that cup, think about it as a chess game. Once you touch that piece is selected. The round is over when all competitors have stepped back from the table and signaled that they are finished by calling time after a maximum of 6 minutes, whichever occurs first. Rules and regulations, you must taste all 3 cups to determine the odd one out. Competitors who do not taste all 3 cups in a triangulation will have that triangulation disqualified from their total score. And a 1-minute time penalty will be added to the end competition time. So you must taste all the cups to make your decision. Otherwise, there will be a penalty. So once your cup is selected, you should push it across the table. And if you lift a cup off the table or touches any of the cups, it's determined to be your final decision and must be moved across the line into a separate box. Once the cup has been pushed over the line, the cup must not be moved again. So what if there's a tie? If the tied competitors have the same number of correct triangulations, the competitor who completed their triangulations in the shortest time will be declared the winner. If there are 2 or more competitors have achieved a tie score, then those competitors will be ranked in the same position, and if applicable, both will proceed to the next round. Nothing is allowed but cups on the table, so what should you bring? You need to bring your own cupping spoon. This is required. You have to bring your own cupping spoon. Other things that are allowed on stage will be water, spit cup, earplugs, towels, but do not put any of those onto the cupping table. The only thing that is allowed is the cupping spoon. And do not touch the table either. So don't put anything on the table. You can put things on the ground, on the floor, or behind you. You're required to bring your cupping spoon with you. So here is some specs about the coffee. All coffee are roasted not longer than 14 days prior to the day of the competition, so they're fresh. Remember, you're not tasting the origin or the quality of the coffee, but you are tasting to determine which one is the odd one. Coffees you're tasting will be medium roasted to the same degree and ground identically. Coffees are prepared in a standard drip filter batch brew of a quality appropriate for the needs of the competition. So here is the spec. It will be between 92 to 96 degrees Celsius, which is around 198 to 205 degrees Fahrenheit. The brewing cycle would be between 6 to 46 minutes, which is a very standard batch brew round. And then the temperature of the finished brew should be about 80 to 85 Celsius or 176 to 185, and stored in a airport or a thermal urn after it's been brewed. The coffee will be prepared most likely the ratio of 60 grams per liter without and as such. And the cups used for triangulation will be between 125 ml to 250 ml. And the volume of coffee, each cup must be between 75 to 150. So this is if you plan to practice. These are the specs that you'll be following for your practice sessions. Once again, is a cup size between 125 to 250 ml, and the volume of the coffee is 75 to 150. So this is the water spec for the water supplied to USCC. So sponsored equipment, coffee, we're getting our coffee from Balzac Brothers, and then the grinders from Compact, scales from Akaya, and the brewers from Bun. So now I open the floor to question. Cup tasters competition is pretty straightforward. There are some rules and regulations governing what you can touch, what you cannot touch, how many minutes you're allowed to interact with the coffee, and that you have to taste every single cup, like 18 cups, and then what you need to bring. So remember those things. You really need to bring your cup, your spoon, sorry. Bring your spoon. You can bring water, towels to wipe, spit cups, etc., but you're not allowed to put them on the table. You have 6 minutes to taste 6 sets of 3 cups, 18 cups altogether. And timekeeper will be giving you 3 minutes, 2 minutes, 1 minute, and 30-second warning. So now I want to open the floor for questions. Do you have any questions regarding the cup tasters competition? Feel free to put it in the chat box. The schedule will be released about a few days from now, 2 weeks prior to the competition date. Usually the schedule will be released to you, asking you to check your name, company, gender pronoun, city, and state, and if there are any conflicts. If you are also competing for roasters or barista, then schedule will be released approximately the same time, so you'll go back and double check your schedule if anything is if you have a scheduling conflict. You let cup tasters know, and cup taster will move you around. So the first schedule that you have received are mostly confirmed, except if you have scheduling conflict. Yeah. How are the cups set in a straight line and a triangle? It's in a triangle. Are scheduling requests possible? I urge you all to be very, very flexible with scheduling because we have a lot of competitors. If everybody is hoping to be scheduled in a certain time and date, it will be very, very it'll be very complicated for scheduling people to help you out with that. But once the schedule is out, double check with barista and roasters if you're competing at other competitions and request a move with cup tasters. Who should I send email regarding a scheduling request? That will be to Lane. And when your schedule is released, simply reply to that email or send it to Lane, who has been in contact with you or through the Eventbrite page. Tuesday, January 16th, competition day, may we use the judge calibration walkthrough. That will be used for calibration for certain competitions. Is a mandatory competition day, but not mandatory for cup tasters. You might not be scheduled on that day until the schedule is out, then we will know. The schedule is set in a way that we avoid people from the same city and state together or same company. So there's a lot of consideration when making the schedule. So it's not merely to put people onto the schedule. There are a lot of thoughts before the schedule is out. So if the schedule is out and you need to request a change of schedule, multiple people have to be moved because of that. So I urge you to be more flexible with that if it's possible. Are we allowed to know what conditions make the odd cup out unique? Is completely. Yeah, that's just a completely different. There's some character that makes the cup unique, but it won't be temperature. It's not temperature. It's definitely a different coffee, different mix of coffee, different blend of coffee. It's the coffee that makes the cup unique. It's not volume or temperature. And let me double check if I've answered all the questions. Any other questions? Um, Yes, this has been a issue actually. I wanted to talk a little bit more about that. The SCA email, that is email provided by SCA under the SCA domain, and it has been having issues. Some bounce back emails are marking as spam. So now I'm going to provide you with another email. Give me a moment, I'll put it on the chat box. This is the email that would work to communicate with Lane. Can you all see this? It's communications.uscc@gmail.com. This is the email that you can use for now. The US competitions at SCA.coffee email has some issue with bouncing back as your email as spam sometimes. So the communications.uscc@gmail.com is a backup email that we use. No, you're not supposed to have received an email with scheduling already because it's going to be released 2 weeks prior, approximately 2 weeks prior. It's also a consideration with if these competitors are going to be scheduled to compete at barista or roasters. So all competition are coordinating and communicating and vetting those competitors out. So it's a longer process to actually create a cup taster schedule. So cup taster schedule is usually the last one to be released because it has consideration with other competitions schedule as well. Thank you very much. Yeah, and once you receive that schedule, reply if you need anything adjusted, spelling, company name, city and state, gender pronouns, or if any conflict is happening. Internally, we check them prior. So if any spelling mistakes or anything that you want to change, or if you no longer work with the same company and you want it to be listed as independent or under other company name, you can reply to that email and request it to be changed. And then there will be a second version of that schedule. Usually it needs hopefully 2 only scheduled to be released. So make sure that you're not sending out the first schedule to everyone because the first schedule usually has to be revised with the second schedule being the finalized schedule. We'll usually give you ample amount of time and we will let you know to reply immediately and then so we can finalize the schedule and everybody will be happy. Any question about Houston? Any question about the venue? What to bring? Yeah, it's sold out immediately. The waitlist has been opened up. I've seen some emails going to competitors, and the waitlist is slowly opening up when there are spots available. But yes, it's sold out. So as I mentioned before, Cup Tasters is a very straightforward competition. There are only a couple of rules and regulations that are very specific to this competition that you need to remember. One being bring your own spoon. Second being don't touch the table. Third being if you touch that cup, you have to select that cup. And then fourth is taste all 18 cups. You don't need to swallow them. You can use a spit cup, so you can bring a spit cup as well. So this is a very exciting competition. And you're testing your ability, your own ability to taste the odd cup, but not the ability to tell us about the origin of the coffee. You do not have to do that. So it's just to taste the odd cup up. Make sure you stay hydrated. There's a lot of coffee that you'll be drinking. There'll be some food vendors at the venue. Make sure that you don't eat too spicy food, of course, but make sure you're taking care of yourselves during the competition time. Any other questions, you can send it to the competition communications email. If you scroll up the chat box, you can see that email. Do save that email for your use. Currently, it's a backup email for the issues that we have been facing using the US comps email under the SEA domain. So save that email and communicate with that email for now. You'll be receiving your schedule soon. Make sure that you communicate with us once the schedule is out immediately to let us know if anything needs to be revised. Any other questions? I want to thank everybody for competing. USCC is a solely volunteer-run competitions now. There's no paid staff on USCC. There's no global USCC staff that are paid to do this for US chapter and also the USCC volunteer group and the judges group. So if any of you have friends that wants to volunteer and tag along when you come to Houston, let them know to sign up for volunteering and judging positions using the same Eventbrite link that you have been using to sign up for Cup Tasters. Spread the words, ask people to come to Houston. There will be a little Houston community market in front of the competition hall. That's not totally coffee related. You'll be able to see some vendors from Houston, and you'll be able to understand and know more about Houston through those vendors as well. I'm very excited to see that will be hosted through Houston Coffee Collective. So if you go on Instagram and search for Houston Coffee Collective, they will have some coffee map that is going to be released soon and more information about where you can go during this time of competition and where you will see some of the social interactions happening or some mingle and mix happening around town. So that's Houston Coffee Collective. Look for that on social media. I know that they also have a website. So go on that website and take a good look. Yeah. If there are no more questions, I think we can end the online learning session here. So last call for questions. Lastly, that this is not a promise, but I've heard that they're doing that. Houston Coffee Collective is looking for a hotel block for competitors and judges. But Houston is very, very affordable. It's an easy city to find Airbnb and affordable stay. So make sure that you look for that early as well. One one tip: Houston is a lack of public transportation, so there is not really any public transportation. It's very spread out. Houston is the fourth largest city in the US and a very diverse city, and you can find a lot of really great food, but there's just not really any public transportation. So make sure that you make arrangements with your friends while you're staying there. There are a lot of things to see and a lot of places to go. Go on Houston Coffee Collective or on social media and check them out. But make sure that you make an arrangement on how to get from the airport to the power center and stay close by. And then measure your map as well as you're booking those hotel because Houston is really spread out. It might look very close on the map, but as a matter of fact, it might not be. So take good care of yourselves and stay hydrated. And I look forward to seeing you in Houston. Thank you, everybody.